What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always. Spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Football, basketball, and boxing. Let's get to it. All right, so want to talk about basketball. Women's basketball, to be exact. And the WNBA. We had a recent thing that came out on social media about how the women's national championship game had more viewers than the males. Now, women's basketball is on the rise thanks to the 2020 recruiting class and also, most importantly, Caitlin Clark. But also Angel Reese has been a big driver of that, and just the elevation of the women's game from a standpoint of a skill base. Even in the WNBA, talent is on the rise. We just had Ledescu competing against Steph Curry in the three-point shootout, which that attracted viewers. And we might get Caitlin Clark in the NBA three-point shootout against Steph Curry next year. We shall see. But the main thing to point out here is that the men's game has not diminished. I think some people see the views and think that, well, because the college men's game, there was less stars in it than the women, that means the men's game has fell off, when really it's just the women's game is elevated. There are talented guys that's going to be going into the NBA from the D-League and overseas, and a few from college as well. So I do think the talent is continuing to rise in the NBA as well. And that's why one of the reasons why they almost need a play-in, especially in the Western Conference. You have more than 8 teams that are playoff caliber teams when you look at the roster, but only 8 can go. In comes the play-in. But with the women's side of things, it has risen, and we got to really give Caitlin Clark her props for her skill level. She's not pulling all of these viewers to the women's game just because she looks good. Because, and I don't mean that with no disrespect, but her game is so nice. That's what speaks volumes for Caitlin Clark. And she's not by any means, she's a attractive young lady. So I'm not trying to say, she's, doesn't have looks. Don't take that as a shot at Caitlin Clark's physical looks. I'm just pointing out that her skill is what comes to mind first when you watch her play. She's exciting. She gets people to jump up out of their seats watching her play. She gives those ooh and ah moments and those woo, did you see that? I mean, her handle, her jump shot, her ability to pass and make others better all elevate her game and elevate the women's game. And you see it none other than with the fact that she's the for sure fire number 1 pick. Not just because she sells tickets, it's why she sells tickets. She's going to be the number 1 pick. The Indiana Fever are going to select her. The WNBA knows it. And because of it, 36 of their 40 televised games, or their 40 games rather, are going to be televised. That's big time. That's a big jump from last season for the Indiana Fever. And they're already advertising when she's going to match up against Diana Taurasi, Ledescu, and I'm sure they will be advertising other games as they come up. People are going to want to see her play, and she's going to sell out seats. This is an opportunity for the women's game to elevate even more, and for Caitlin Clark, it's a responsibility on her shoulders to take the game to the next level, kind of the way Michael Jordan did for the men's game, in my personal opinion. This isn't a Magic Johnson, Larry Bird type of situation. This is a Michael Jordan entering the league, something we haven't seen before type of situation with Caitlin Clark, where her style of play And if she's successful, if she starts winning ball games and making her mark immediately, which I expect her to, I expect her to put up big numbers quickly. It's going to lead to possible renegotiations of those contracts for players where maybe the cap on the league has to increase because ticket sales can be risen and you have sellouts happening stadium after stadium. So the women's game is in a good place. The men's game has not fell off, people. But let's give kudos where it's due to where we are in the women's game. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you looking for. J-Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or get at me in the comments. Let's go back and forth. Look for me on YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok.